So today we are going to be looking at eliminating negative emotions. So as we said, this is part 6 of the power to personal achievement. So we are setting basically the foundation for a series of more things about tools and to how to do, what to do, things to follow very soon. As I have said, this is I have gleaned this from a training session of Brian Tracy, which I happened to come across on YouTube. So now when we talk of eliminating negative emotions, let's look at the whole scope of this whole negative emotion thing. Last session, in the last video, we have spoken about taking responsibility, what that means and what the implication is. Let's briefly look at it. So if we draw two lines, okay, one bottom line is where we are not willing to take responsibility for what is happening in our life, and on the upper end of the spectrum is that we are taking responsibility for what is happening in our life. Okay, this is the whole scope or zone. Now most or all of us are somewhere in between. Okay, it's not that we are at the lower end of the spectrum, we are also not at the upper end of the spectrum. We are in this inside this range. Now the interesting thing is that if we take the top 10%, that means the people who are close to that responsible zone 10%, they are all whom we can call leaders. Okay, now a leader is not somebody necessarily who's got a huge following. A leader can be somebody who is completely without followers, but a leader is someone who acts out of total responsibility. So that's what we mean by a leader. And the top 10% you will find are the leaders. Okay, so now if as we spoke last time, when you take responsibility, automatically you will experience that there is control in your life. Control can be at multiple levels of life. It can be at the physical level, it is also at the financial level, but also at the emotional level. You will find that you're emotionally in control of your life if you are willing to take responsibility. And the moment you experience control, the next thing that automatically follows is that you experience freedom. Okay, now the fact is, if you ask anybody, whatever thing, I mean, if you honestly look at our own life itself, everything that we are doing today, at the end of the day, we are doing it only because we are looking at freedom at the end. Whether it is money, whether it is whatever we are doing, at the end of the day, everybody wants freedom. And the fact is that nobody will say, Arey, I'm having too much freedom. Please take some freedom away from me. Everybody wants freedom and more of freedom. And the way to freedom, if you're really serious about it, is you start with taking responsibility for every area of your life. Looking at it's not just taking responsibility, it's like you're looking at any and every single thing that happens in your life. You look at it as I am responsible for it. Okay. You will recollect that we saw that you can look at it as responsible can be broken up into response and ability. So how good is your ability to respond to a situation? To that extent you will be responsible. Okay, now the other end of the spectrum, if you are saying that there is responsible, being responsible leads to control and control leads to freedom, remember that this chain will result in positive emotions. Okay, so at the other end of the spectrum is where all the negative emotions come. So if you're not willing to take responsibility for your life, then obviously what you experience in your life is lack of control and therefore lack of freedom. And that in turn leads to all the negative emotions that we have. So in other words, another way to look at it is that if we want to eliminate negative emotions from our life, what we need to do is to take responsibility for anything and everything that happens in our life. We will look at this in depth now. So, see, just look at it. If you really look at the only thing that is coming between you and your fantastic life, it is negative emotion, right? Just think of it. That is the only thing that is coming in between you and a fantastic life of yours. So now you think of it that if there were no negative emotions, then what would happen? Is it that there will be complete vacuum? No. If you recollect, we have spoken about this thing about the law of substitution in the earlier sessions. So by the law of substitution, automatically, when there is no negative emotion, automatically there will be positive emotions will fill up because nature abhors vacuum. So, eliminating negative emotion is the key. If you want to unlock the power of your subconscious and superconscious mind, eliminating negative emotions is the key. So now today we are going to look at in depth what is this whole scope of this negative emotion. So one of the interesting ways which Brian Tracy has portrayed negative emotions is in the form of a tree. So you visualize this whole negative emotion in the form of a negative emotion tree. Okay. And all these fruits, all these negative emotions that we experience, you visualize it as if they are the fruits of the tree, whether it is anger or fear, or it is doubt, envy, resentment, self-doubt. Okay. Now, I was very surprised to discover that there are not just 5 or 6 negative emotions, there are 50 types of negative emotions, 50 plus types of negative emotions. Can you imagine that? You just look at all this. All these things are typically what many of us keep going through, right? All these negative emotions, you visualize it as if they are the fruits of this negative emotion tree. Okay. Now, if you want to stop the fruits, where do you need to start? You need to start at cutting down at the roots. That is the root cause of this whole negative emotion. That is where you have to start. You don't try to start, trying to solve it at the fruit level. Start at the root. So what is that is one step. And the next level is that you work on the trunk. Okay, so we will look at each of these. So now what is there at the root of negative emotions? Number one, it is justification. And second, it is identification. Okay, we will look at each of these in depth. And what is there as the trunk of this negative emotion tree? Blame. Just look back and look at all the negative emotions that we are experiencing in our life, and you will find that justification, identification, and blame are beneath or behind it. So let's look at justification first. What do we mean by justification? Justification is the belief. Remember, it's a belief. The belief that you are entitled to your negative emotions. Do we not just look back at situations where we have had negative emotions, and do we not justify to ourselves? Okay, there is a continuous internal conversation going on in our head with respect to whatever situation or person or incident. There is a continuous conversation going on in our head where we are repeatedly justifying to ourselves in multiple ways why we are justified to the negative emotion, right? So this justification is at the root. Okay, remember, you just, if you're really honest, you will see that this is true in each one of us. We keep finding multiple reasons why feeling negative is justified. Okay, please let us address it. Today is the opportunity. Let us address it face to face and let us deal with it once and for all. The other side of it is identification at the root. That means we are identifying ourselves with that whole situation or context or the person, and we take things personally. Now, the moment you are taking things personally, automatically the fallout will be negative emotion. Okay. Now, I want you to think of this. Suppose there is some theft that took place. A theft took place in some bank in some country. Okay, you just visualize it. In some country, there is a theft that took place in some bank. Do we get emotionally disturbed by it? Do we get emotionally disturbed by it? Just think of it, right? When something somewhere it's very distant, we don't get emotionally disturbed. Or, for example, there is a tsunami in Japan, right? We don't get emotionally disturbed. Oh my God, tsunami, what happened? And your life goes for a toss. It doesn't happen. But all the things that we get disturbed by are things where we are directly connected, where we take things personally, right? So the key, one of the keys to stopping your process of negative emotions is to stop justifying and stop identifying. The moment you stop these two things, and these are conscious things that you have to do, it will not happen by itself, because our natural tendency is to get into this mode, justification and identification. So if we are willing to stop justifying and stop identifying, negative emotions will automatically shrivel and die. So I would like to, in the context of justification, okay, one of the keys to how not to justify and how not to identify, one of the keys is to become non-judgmental. Now, the Bible has this beautiful sentence, okay, judge not lest you will be judged. Okay, so just think of it. If we can consciously become non-judgmental, you don't have to make judgment about everything. See, when you become judgmental, you're automatically becoming prejudiced also. Eliminate prejudice from your life, right? So if you do not take any side or opinion, that means you're as if you're a third person, you're standing there and watching the situation of whatever drama is going on, whatever action is going on, whatever has been said, not said, or some event happened, whatever is happening. If you stand aside and look at it, okay, like we said, that suppose there is a theft happens in some bank in some country somewhere, there's no emotion for us attached to it. Like that, can we step aside and watch all these things happening in our lives by stepping aside without emotions attached to it? Okay, stay calm and get all the facts first. So the focus is not just suddenly, oh, something happened, and emotion and reacting and all that. Stay calm and get all the facts first. Just stay detached. People who are really successful in life, no, see how calm you remain when there is turbulence in the world around you is actually a measure of how successful a person you are. You take any person who is really successful in the world, you will find that there's a very, very strong quality of being non-judgmental. Okay. The second part of not getting attached to whatever is happening, right? The Gita has this beautiful thing. There is repeated reference to being detached in the Bhagavad Gita. I've just taken one such quote from the Gita. Being detached from the fruits of your action is better than meditation, as through such renunciation one can attain peace of mind. Right? So, disidentify yourself with all these things, like the natural tendency to immediately react, immediately identify, immediately justify. Detach yourself. Practice consciously. Practice being detached. Okay. Then you will not get emotionally caught up and you will automatically stay calm. See, the moment this starts happening regularly in your life, automatically calmness will come. And remember that calmness coexists with self-confidence, self-esteem, effectiveness, creativity. All these things can exist only when there is calmness inside you and not the other way around. Okay. So when you are emotionally involved, remember you cannot think clearly. Automatically, all these things just get removed the moment you are emotionally in a turmoil, right? So therefore, disidentify. So that is as far as justification and identification is concerned. Now, the next part of getting rid of the negative emotion is to address the blame. The key to getting rid of the emotion of negative emotions is to eliminate blame. How do you eliminate blame? See, they say that blame causes 99% of the negative emotions. Okay, this whole process in our mind that keeps going on where we are blaming people. What you do is just cut down the trunk of this negative emotions tree. Just cut it down. Okay, that will put an end once and for all. How to address this, we will look at. So another analogy, if you want to look at this thing, visualize that there is this Christmas tree, okay, fully lighted up, right? Now, the moment you unplug the power in the Christmas tree, right? Instantly, it is instantaneous. The moment you unplug the power, all the lights go out. It's like that, okay? This whole blame can be put to an end if we are willing to work on it in a particular way. You can instantly disconnect the whole power, the feeding mechanism to blame. So basic thing is to stop this blaming process. Okay. All negative emotions will stop instantaneously the moment you stop blaming. Whatever we are talking about, please don't look at it as theory. Please apply it in your life. Test it out in your life. Check it out. Check out whether it's true or not. Make it happen in your life. When the mind is empty of negative emotions, as we said, the law of substitution works and automatically positive emotions will start filling up. All the naturally, the tendency is that all the positive things will fill up. So we have to consciously, basic thing is consciously remove all these negative emotions. Okay. So how to stop this blame game? See, we are not trying to say that there are no difficulties in life, there are no setbacks, challenges. All these things are a part of our life. Okay. It is there. But remember that these things you cannot eliminate. Some things you may be able to control or reduce to some extent, but you cannot eliminate it definitely. Okay. So what you can change is how you respond to this. That is 100%. Remember, it is 100% in our control. Unfortunately, most of the time we are not conscious about it. The moment you become conscious about it, that look, it is in my control how I want to respond. You can stop it. Right? There is nothing or no one that actually makes you angry. Okay. If you think of a situation, no, if you, it's like, as a third person, if you just watch a situation, right? There is as much emotion in a situation as much as there is emotion in a rock. There is just that much emotion. All the emotion in the situation is added by us. So we are the ones who are contributing to all this emotional drama. And how do we do it? By justifying, identifying, or blaming. This chain of these three things just gets us trapped into this whole emotional, negative emotion drama, right? So use the law of substitution. How? Eliminate blame and all negative emotions by replacing the blame thought with I am responsible. Okay. In case you're not able to relate to what I'm saying by I'm not responsible, I'm again sincerely saying, please watch the previous video. You will get a complete perspective on how important it is. See, whether we like it or not, the fact is we are responsible. We are not aware of it. We may not be conscious of it, but whether you like it or don't like it, the fact is that we are responsible for our life. Okay. The earlier we realize this, the better it is for us. So now if you can consciously bring this thought in that I am responsible, that means whatever is the situation, whatever is happening, the moment you start saying that, looking in, not just saying it, but saying it intensely within yourself, I am responsible, then that is the mechanism to replace this whole blame game. It is impossible to accept responsibility and blame both simultaneously. Keep blaming. You cannot do it. You cannot accept responsibility and keep blaming. It will not work. You cannot be negative and at the same time accept responsibility. It will not work. And therefore, the moment you accept responsibility, automatically the other thing will fall off. And when you accept responsibility, automatically you will also start feeling empowered. Okay. Now, this next thing, it's very, so why does this accept responsibility? Why does it work? Now, remember that we always rationalize whatever the situation we are rationalizing. Now, Brian Tracy puts this rationalize in a very, very beautiful way. Rationalize is equal to rational lies. Okay. We are continuously telling ourselves rational lies. Logically, we will explain to ourselves why what we believe is correct. Okay. This is the power of logic, that you can explain anything according to the way you want it. Okay. Now, if you understand this clearly, that rationalizing is rational lies, you're just kind of creating a story in your mind. Okay. Now that story is, you believe it is true and therefore it is true for you, but it's actually just a story. Once you see this clearly, what we are doing in the whole negative, this blame justification thing is, we are using our mind to think up reasons why we are justified to our negative emotions. Just look at it. All this conversation that keeps going on in our mind of, you kind of play up situations, what they said, and then therefore this means this. Therefore, this means this. We are creating reasons in our mind why we are justified to our negative emotions. In other words, this is like, I'm sure all of you would have heard of this harakiri. So harakiri is, if you don't know of it, it's the Japanese samurais, the warriors, no, in case they got caught by the enemy, then rather than go through, this whole thing of, getting killed at the enemy's hands, they stab themselves and just get all their intestine and everything out. Okay, that is what is called harakiri. Now, the fact is that we are actually doing emotional harakiri with ourselves. Okay, whatever the situation, we are, it's like we are stabbing ourselves all over. Sadhguru puts this very nicely. I think about a year or 2 years ago, the government of Tamil Nadu, they came up with this scheme called Namak Name. That means we for ourselves. So Namak Name scheme. Okay. So Sadhguru used to joke about this, that, when we are agonizing ourselves, when we are creating all the negative emotions, it is this Namak Name scheme. We are creating all these things for ourselves. Namak Name scheme for ourselves. Just stabbing ourselves continuously. Just think of it. When we think of all kinds of reasons why we are justified to our negative emotions, we are continuously stabbing ourselves emotionally, right? And this is a rationalizing process, okay? And it is a rational lie. Now, can we use the same mind, this same mind? If you can clearly see that it is anyway a story you're creating, can you use the same mind to think up reasons why you should not have negative emotions? See, you're thinking of reasons why you should have negative emotions. The same mind, if you are willing, you can choose to use it to think up reasons why you should not have negative emotions, right? And that is the process of taking responsibility. Using I am responsible. The thing is that initially when you try to start it, you may find that it is difficult because we are so much in love with our negativity. Uh, just think of it. In so many situations, our natural tendency when somebody asks us or we talk to people, particularly people whom we are close to, our tendency is to keep pouring out negativity, right? So please, if we honestly look at ourselves, we are in love with our negativity, right? Because of that, it may be difficult initially to use this I am responsible because we do not want to give it up. We are so much in love with it. It's a choice that we have to make. Now, just take any life situation, okay, where we are playing this playing game. Use this brilliant mind of ours. We have a very, very brilliant and powerful mind. Why not use this brilliant mind? Why not use this brilliant mind to say that I am responsible? Why not use this brilliant mind to think of possible reasons why we are responsible for the situation? See, right now we are justifying and saying why others are responsible. Use the same mind to think of how we are responsible. Okay. When you repeat this process, okay, see, initially you may find it challenging. Again, the thing comes up. If you are at it, if you are clear that this is the way you want to go, and if you are at it, you will find that the next time the negative emotion comes up, immediately again you apply it. And the moment you start doing it repeatedly, you will find that in a matter of days, if not weeks, actually, it will be in a matter of days, the same thought will not even cause a ripple in your mind because you have settled it once and for all, saying that whatever happens, I am responsible, I am taking responsibility for my life. It is gone forever. It's a choice that we have to make. Okay. Now, you can have this question, responsibility versus blame. When you accept responsibility, does it mean that you are accepting the blame? That means you are saying I am responsible, means you are saying I am accepting the blame on myself. Is that so? Let's look at it. The answer is no. Why no? When it is blame, remember that blame is always looking backwards at the past. Okay, we are looking at what happened and we are creating a whole story around what happened in the past. We are looking at situations and things and people and whatever has happened which cannot be changed. The whole blame mode is looking at the past and looking at things that cannot be changed continuously. Just think of it. This whole blame thing is if only they had done like that, if only they had not said like this, or if only this corona had not happened. The whole blame game is all linked to the if only stories. On the other hand, when you are saying responsibility, when you're saying you're taking responsibility, you are looking into the future. There is a very, very big difference. Blame is continuously looking at the past. Responsibility, taking responsibility is looking into the future. You are saying, okay, this is what it is. Now, what can we do from here? Where can we go from here? I'm sorry, there is a typo. Where can we go from here? What can we do from here? You are looking forward. You are looking at what to do in this situation. I want to once more remind you of this beautiful story that the Sadhguru's. I can't, it's a huge inspiration for me. The attitude that Sadhguru has got of whatever be the situation, he looks at what is the opportunity here. Okay, whatever is the situation. I must quote another extreme situation that happened, something that he told us. So this is a few years ago when I think this Amrita institution, Amritantamayi's institution, they had invited him for there was a certain event that they were organizing, and there was something they wanted him to come and talk. So from Coimbatore, there was a chartered flight which was taking him to Trivandrum. Okay. And they got into the flight took off. And then somewhere down the line, the Sadhguru noticed that there is tension in the face of the pilot and all those, the crew of the aircraft. So Sadhguru found out that basically what happened is that the landing gear, that thing is not opening. Okay. So that means now they have to crash land. What struck me is that the thinking process of Sadhguru at that time. Okay. Now the plane situation is that the possibility is that the plane may crash land. Okay. In this situation, he's thinking of, so the first thing that he told the pilot is, why don't we try and land on water? Okay. There is so much of backwater in Kerala, choose some place and land it there. Okay. Then they were telling why it's not possible and all that. But Sadhguru's thinking was this, that, okay, now if we crash land, then he said, I have to choose between losing hands, legs and all that. So what should I lose? So he was saying that, look, I love golf a lot. So which hand, if I lose, which hand should I lose? Just think of it, the situation, his thinking where it is going. So he was deciding that which side should he turn on and be, so that, if the hand is lost, hand or leg is lost, which side of the body will be lost, so that other half will be available. Can we have an attitude where we are looking at what is the opportunity in every situation? Okay, it's a very, very powerful way to be. So the point I'm making is, when you take responsibility for your life, you're always looking forward into the future about what to do. Okay, and this gives you a sense of power, sense of control and freedom. And you will find that taking responsibility, you will find, will make you happy. So because we said that a conscious mind can only hold one thought at a time, okay, the choice is between thinking of the future and thinking of the past. So when you're thinking of the future, that is, you're taking responsibility, you're thinking of the future, what to do and where you want to go. At the same time, you cannot also be thinking of the past, what happened, what made you unhappy. You will not be thinking of that. So automatically, it is your future thinking that will get going. There is a beautiful quote that I want you to keep in mind, okay, in this context. Keep your face always towards the sun, and the shadows will fall behind you. Such a beautiful thought, such a beautiful thought. Keep your face always towards the sun, and the shadows will fall behind you. Exactly in this context. If you are facing the future, automatically all those negative things are all behind you. It will not be in your eyesight. And the credit to who said it is supposed to be Helen Keller, the lady who was, blind, okay, and who invented Braille. So there is, a bit of a dispute on whether Helen Keller said it or Walt Whitman, the poet, said it. But irrespective of who said it, just look at the beauty of the statement. Keep your face always towards the sun, and the shadows will fall behind you. So keep repeating this process, that is taking responsibility. I am responsible consciously. Keep repeating this process again and again until, see, anything that you keep repeating again and again, what automatically happens is that it will become a habit. So it will become your natural habit to look at the bright side of things. See, in any situation, there will be something not okay, something okay. You have a choice of choosing to focus on the bright side. It will become a natural habit to focus on the bright side. We are not pretending that there are no problems, but on the contrary, you're realizing that it is only and only when you're calm, clear, and relaxed are you really effective in taking care of those problems. Do you agree with this? I'm sure all of you will agree that only when you are calm and clear and relaxed, only then are you effective in taking charge of any situation that is there. So, how do you do that? Option is take responsibility and make it a habit to look at the bright side of things. You cannot take care of problems when you're upset, angry, and frustrated. I am responsible will calm you down. So use this as a powerful tool in your life. I am responsible. Now, the sad part is, we have to look at it within ourselves and we will definitely see it around us. People love their suffering. And how do you know they love their suffering? You will know it when you talk to them, you will know it. They will keep telling you all their tales of woe. Anytime you talk to them, it will be all story of what is not okay, why they did this, why they did that, why things didn't happen. People love telling their stories. And this has become their habit. Okay. Now, when you meet such people, how should you respond? Okay. Smile to them and say, you are responsible for your own life. What are you going to do about it? Okay. We are, see, you have the choice of getting mired in their problem and listening to their story and feeling miserable along with them. That's a choice, right? But you also have the choice of helping them get out of it, right? You are responsible for your own life. What are you going to do about it? Okay. Now, two things can happen. One is that they may stop, pause, and say, oh, yes, what you're saying is right. I can't keep complaining like this. Let me see what to do. That is one option. The second option is that they will stop coming to you with their stories of hope. Either way, it is fantastic, right? You don't have to waste your time listening to other people's stories of agony. Everybody has, it's not that nobody's life is perfect. Everybody will have things that are not okay, things that are okay. The choice is to focus on what is fantastic in our life. Now, we we have this. If you pause carefully, you will realize that we are all in this situation. You will say that, okay, I'm willing to give up all those negative things, all those situations, except for that one thing that I'm not willing to give up. Okay. That one negative situation or that one negative person, that one thing I want to carry with me. It's like a trophy that you want to carry. Everything else you are saying, okay, I'm willing to give away all that, but this one thing I will not give up. Right. If that one negative emotion or that one incident, if you do not let go of it, okay, remember that just this one thing can cause you to stay in the same place forever. Imagine a situation like this, that there is a Mercedes Benz car that you have purchased. Okay. It's a fantastic car, of course. It's like fantastic power. You just press on the throttle and it will fly, right? But unfortunately, what happened, nobody realized this, but in the factory, when they were fitting the brakes, the front wheel, one of the brakes, they put it in reverse position. So unfortunately, one wheel of the front brake is jammed. It is locked. All other things are perfectly fine. The car is perfectly fine, except that one wheel is locked, right? Can you imagine what will happen to the car if you give throttle? The wheels will spin, and this one wheel which is locked, the car will just go in circles. Just visualize this happening. One wheel locked and all other wheels spinning, the car will just go in circles. It will not go anywhere. In other words, just with this one negative emotion which you are stuck with, saying that, no, 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 this one thing I want to keep and I want to keep suffering this for the rest of my life, that one thing will cause you to stay in the same place for the rest of your life. Make a conscious decision to give up even this one thing. Put an end to it. Unhappy people have this one brake locked on. Okay. So I want to invite you today to have the courage to let go and leave behind even that one bit of emotional baggage. I want to invite you to do that today. Okay. Accept responsibility for it. And emotionally, just choose to walk away from it. You If you do this, it can set you free, completely free. If you do this, the choice is with you. Okay. It's like you just imagine that you're driving on the road and you're having this bag of garbage, and you just drop this garbage off on the roadside and you drive off, right? That bag of garbage will lie there. And as you keep driving away, it will slowly recede away from your view. And in due course of time, it will disappear from the horizon, right? Very soon, it will get distant and disappear from the horizon, right? That is what will happen. Just have the courage to drop it and walk away. This car is your life, okay? This car can shoot at phenomenal speed, okay? And it can take you to places. The moment you decide to unlock, this one wheel, at that moment, it will shoot off at great speeds and it will take you to extraordinary places. That is the possibility that is there for all of us, okay? So I'm sincerely inviting all of you to take this step today. Say, I am responsible unconditionally, no conditions attached to it. I am responsible for whichever way life is, whichever way it is not, whatever is there in my life, what is not there in my life, whichever way it is, say, I am responsible, and use this to eliminate all negative emotions in your life. This is what I'm inviting you to. Okay. Next week is a fantastic follow up to this. We are going to look at how to release the brakes. We were talking about the brakes. We will identify where these brakes come from. Okay. And we will look at how to release the brakes. So next week coming up is releasing the brakes. Thank you very much.